to my channel. Today's video is going to be a haul video of the bits that I picked up whilst we were in London. If you've not seen our London vlogs, then make sure you go check that out. I'll try and leave a little annotation somewhere. So yeah, we spent a couple of days in London. The main reason was we were going to see Priscilla Presley speak at the Palladium. Obviously Elvis Presley's ex-wife, and yeah, so we obviously had to do some shopping. There are a few hotspots that I knew I wanted to stop in at, so without further ado, let's jump in. So first, let me start with the two things we got from the Disney store. Obviously we left home our two dogs. Well, we didn't leave them, they were with my mum, but we obviously wanted to bring them something back, so we picked up these from the Disney store. A Winnie the Pooh for Winnie, obviously, and then a Bunny Rabbit Mickey for Baloo, because his favourite toys are always rabbits and bunnies. So we picked these up. I'm not quite sure how much they were. I imagine they'll go on sale very soon if they haven't already, by the time this video goes up, because as I'm filming this, it is Good Friday, so yeah, we picked those up for them. Next, I'm going to go through books. So I did pick up quite a few books. So we went to Waterstones at Piccadilly. That is one of my absolute favourite bookshops in the world. It is amazing. It's about 5 floors. They have a really amazing sort of crime and thriller section, and there are always some bits in there that I find really hard to find other places. The main one being Murder, She Wrote books. And we later went to Foyles, which is where some of these books came from as well, and they had nothing Murder, She Wrote, and they had a very small Agatha Christie actually in Foyles on Tottenham Court Road. So I was a little bit disappointed with that, because in the past they've had like shelves and shelves of Agatha Christie, but there was like 4 books this time, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, yes, picked up this Murder, She Wrote book. I have a few now that I've collected either from Waterstones or while we're in America. Obviously they're a lot easier to acquire in America, and I got this one, which is Close Up on Murder. And this is sort of set around a movie adaptation of one of Jessica Fletcher's books, and obviously someone, I'm assuming, oh yeah, and obviously someone gets murdered and Jessica Fletcher steps in as the honorary detective. And yes, this was only $6.99. They're always like pretty reasonably priced because they are such like small books, but yeah, I really enjoy them. They're like that cottage cozy, what am I trying to say? But yeah, they're like those cozy cottagecore style books that I really like in a murder mystery. The next one I got, I think I got this one of Foyles. This is by Sandrine Collette, and it's Just After the Wave. That's what it looks like, and from what I can gather, there has been a underwater volcano collapses and generates a tidal wave, and there is this family of parents and about 8 children who their house stands on the top of this very big hill, and so they are like the only ones that survived this massive tidal wave. Everything else in the neighbourhood, all the people are sort of washed out, and I think there's some sort of storyline on the fact that the parents may have to choose who they take with them to go and find sort of recovery, I guess. Not quite sure, but just that, not even dystopian, because it very much could happen, but that sort of, what am I trying to say? But just the premise of this book, sort of the aftermath of a major global event, sort of interested me, so I picked that one up. The next one, I was very heavily influenced by 2 things. 1, the fact that this is a signed book, and 2, the fact that they had a massive display at the Waterstones in Piccadilly. And this is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. It's the Waterstones Author of the Year. Like I said, this is a signed copy, and this, I believe, is set in the 1960s. There's the signature, and it's about a chemist called Elizabeth who sort of, I guess, tries to pioneer her way through a very male orientated world at the time, She signs on to be the host of a cooking show, hence the sort of display that they had at Waterstones. By the sounds of it, it's very much her trying to set a precedence for women in the 60s, doing a subject and being in an area that wasn't as common at that time. Next one I got was The Twyford Code by Janice Hallett. I have her other one, The Appeal, and I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favourite books that I read last year. Again, this is a signed copy. I always especially like to look when we're in London for signed copies because they're going to be slightly easier to find. And yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed The Appeal. This one is, I think, about a children's author, and there's like lots of clues hidden within her books. Someone goes missing, like, I don't know a lot about this, but because I really enjoyed her other book so much, I knew I would want to pick this up. Next, we have an Agatha Christie book. This one I picked up in Waterstones. Had none of these at Foyles, and this is a really nice edition by HarperCollins. They had like a series of these with like a plain background and then like a silhouette with an image in it. So this one is A Murder is Announced, which is one I don't think I've got. Well, I know I've definitely not read it. I may have like a very... I've got quite a lot of very tattered sort of second-hand charity shop books of Agatha Christie. So, yeah. We're going on a tangent, but this one is set in a small village, and there's like a notice put out in the newspaper that a murder is going to take place at this date and this time, and obviously everyone starts talking about it, and then by the sounds of it there is a murder, and this is a Miss Marple book. So I usually prefer Poirot over Marple, but I mean, the cover was really cute as well, and I liked the fact that it was set in a smaller village. Keeping on with Agatha Christie, this is one of the ones I got in Foyles. This is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which is one that's been on my list to read for a while. This book is supposed to be one of Agatha Christie's best. It's very highly sort of acclaimed. They had another HarperCollins sort of hardback, but I already had the book. I checked my Goodreads, so I didn't pick that one up, and I didn't sort of love the cover enough to want it twice in my collection. I love getting these hardbound sort of foil books from HarperCollins. I have quite a few, but yeah, like I said, this was kind of a no-brainer when it was one that I've been really wanting for a while, and it was in sort of a special edition cover. And then the final book I got was this one. I did take a little peruse through the young adult section. Both shops have a massive young adult and children's section, and this one it tugs on my heartstrings in the fact that this is what sort of got me back into reading as a teenager, and this is about two strangers, two teenage boys, who there is like a catastrophic event, very similar to that other book, that wipes out most of the population, and they find themselves sort of abandoned, the only survivors in the woods. They obviously come across each other, and I guess friendship, possibly even a romance, takes place. So yeah, I thought I'd give that a read. That sort of dystopian aspect, the world event type trope is something that obviously I seem to quite like, so yeah, picked that one up. So now I'm going to move on to clothes, and I did get quite a few pieces of clothing. So we went to the Urban Outfitters on Oxford Circus, Oxford Street, and that is a massive floor as well, store. It's about 3... Hello, Windsor! Oh, hello! Come here then! Oh, Daddy's outside, he's left me, Mummy. Cameo from a Winnie. I was like, who's opening the door? I feel like you probably haven't seen her for a while. Here she is. My baby girl. Hi. Did you have a fun time when you stayed at Nanny's? Yeah. Yeah, I did. Darren's outside jet washing the patio, so she's like, someone love me, please. So what was I saying? So yes, the Urban Outfitters is about 3, possibly 4 floors. They have quite an extensive sort of sale section. They do have like an urban renewal section, but it wasn't sort of as good. Like, I find that sort of thing very hit and miss, because it's very much based on trends at that time and what people are gonna like. I find that there's always a lot of sports memorabilia. You can get the occasional random thing. Occasionally you find some Disney, but not that often. I've had, I think in the last sort of decade with Urban Renewal, I've maybe got like 2 or 3 items, of which one of them is like one of my favourite tops of all time. It's like a West Ham very vintage shirt, but like I said, it's hit and miss. I'm going on a tangent. But I did find this in the sale, and this is by Let's France, or It's France, not sure. I'm assuming it's European, German maybe. This was originally €75 or £59. It then went down in the sale to £41, so it's still like kind of pricey, but I really liked it. It is, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show these jumpers on here, but it is this fleece jumper. I have nothing really like this, like a fleece sort of outerwear, and it's got blue trim. The sleeves I'm looking at, they are a little bit like dusty, so they could this probably could do with a wash. They're a little bit black, so obviously it's been sort of laying around the store for quite a while. But yes, it's got the blue trim, slight orange peeks through from the inside. You've got a little blue pocket on the front, which is a real lined pocket, and it's got almost like a raincoat material, and it's got like blue buttons on the front. But yeah, I really liked it. The back has that, oh, it's the same on the front. It has that sort of line detail. Do you know what I mean? What am I trying to say? But yeah, I really liked it. It was really cozy, and yeah, I know we're kind of going out of winter now, but there's still some chillier days, so yeah, I picked that up. Next, we went into a couple vintage shops down in Covent Garden. I think that's kind of, for a tourist popping in and out, Covent Garden's sort of the easiest place to find a couple of vintage shops, you know, aside from like Camden Lock, that area. And we went into a vintage like kilo shop, so it's like pay by the weight of the items that you've got. And then we went into Rocket. Much preferred Rocket. That being said, I think it is very pricey for what it is. I think they sort of target the fact that it is in a tourist sort of trap location, but that being said, it's very organised. Everything's colour coordinated, everything's sort of categorised in the store. So if normal like vintage stores like stress you out, can be a bit overwhelming, this is a really nice one. Also doesn't have like that musty vintage smell which the other place did. That being said, so I got this, and this is part of their anti-sweatshop, anti-landfill section. So they've taken pieces and sort of redone them. So I picked up this, which is kind of like that baseball looking shirt. It's long sleeved. It is like a taupey beige with this like burgundy. It's got the little buttons down the front. This is actually by Lucky Brand, which I think is a pretty expensive brand. And obviously they have cropped this from what used to be a big oversized top, and I really liked it with high-waisted jeans. This is a size large, but you know, that's sort of a pinch of salt really. But yeah, I really liked it, and this was actually 25 quid, so like I said, it's not cheap when it comes to like vintage pieces. But I don't know if it's because they've sort of reworked it, they've rehemmed it, that sort of is the extra cost. And then I took a solo trip to Abercrombie, and to be honest, I don't think I should have been allowed to go in there solo, but I did. So I went on the one, I can't remember, it's kind of close to Piccadilly. I think it's on Regent Street, I want to say. And I've not been in a proper Abercrombie store since I was a teenager, so like over a decade ago. And back in the day, I used to wear absolute ton of Abercrombie, as I imagine a lot of people the same age as me did. It was very popular sort of growing up within the noughties and the tens. So yeah, I picked up these 3. I did have a browse in the kids section as well, because some of the bigger items you know, they run sort of big and are the equivalent of like a 8 to 10. So I got this in the kids section, this first piece, and this is a 15 to 16 size, and it is this blue, like that cornflower blue, which is one of my absolute favourite colours. And it's just like a jumper. It still fits kind of like oversized and slouchy, it's not tight on me. And then on the front it's got a really cute like Malibu, Hawaii, yeah, not Malibu, a Maui, Hawaii print on it, so I really liked that. It was very much an impulse buy. This was £39, so the kids section is cheaper. I then have been lusting after these jumpers here online for absolutely ages, and so when I saw them in store I knew I wanted to try them on. These are both a small because they do run slightly oversized. I did try medium as well and it was just too big. These are £52 each, so we dropped some cash that day in the store, but yeah, I really liked it. I'll throw in, I've got a picture of me in the blue one I think, so I'll throw in a picture of that. They also have this in white, but me in white, it's a no-go really. I just try to avoid white at all costs for like staple pieces that are like jumpers and things like that. Like white tops you can find anywhere, anytime, but like jumpers, jackets, I try and stay clear of. So this is the first one. It's like that heather marl grey, and it's like very preppy with the Abercrombie in the multicoloured on the front. I hope you can see that. It has got sort of more of a dropped shoulder, so again it just feels more relaxed, and I just really liked the cut of it. It was really flattering. I wore a dark lipstick on the day, and the girl I was trying this on, like the girl working in the changing rooms, kind of sold it to me. So I've got that one, and then I did have to pick it up in the navy. I do have a couple of navy jumpers, but I just couldn't resist. These are super, super soft as well, might I add. So this one's more colourful with all the different colours. You could definitely pull them, colours from this like for accessories and things like that. So I got those two. Like I said, it comes in white. They also have kind of like t-shirt varieties as well. So if jumpers are not really your thing, they've got very comparable sort of t-shirts, and all of this is like embroidered on. So yeah, really high quality. Love those. Yeah, that is everything that I got. I hope you enjoyed sticking around for this little video and seeing some of the things we picked up whilst we were in London. We had a ton of great food there as well, so make sure you do go watch those vlogs, and we will see you very soon. Bye guys.